This is our customer, John. He would like to send instructions to the bank. However, the turnaround time take quite some time and there are many manual processes for the operations. Let's review the current process. John can send instructions via fax, smart or non-smart form, over-the-counter, smart or non-smart form, and DBS Ideal. Trade operations will start processing the instructions by fax or manually scan and send it to Umero. They will then conduct a manual fax indemnity check and manual signature verification before auto or manual registration in IMEX. Next, they will conduct the manual pre-processing check, which consists of checks as follows: document completeness, global trade highlight, LLI, IMB, commodity price check, dual-use goods and credit conditions or special instructions. Next, we will manually process an IMEX. It consists of input data, select, limit, AML screening, confirm for release and authorization. Lastly, an automatic e-notification will be sent to ideal customers only. In summary, trade operations involved a total of 16 manual processes. Now, let's compare with the soon-to-be process. John can send instructions the same way as before. First, trade operations to receive the instructions and manually scan if it is via over-the-counter. Next, trade operations will use OCR, if he's off, to automatically review the document identification, segregation and completeness, and also to extract the data. However, OCR checkers will be done manually. In the workflow engine, operations uses Activity to conduct auto-check on fax indemnity, cut-off times and future data transaction. Technology is exploring the end-state solution for signature verification. Next, in IMEX processing with the help of IWH and e-storage. Registration, image attach, e-notification, populating all data, AML screening and confirm for release will all be automated. If the limit exceeded, an e-notification will be sent out. While waiting for release, Red Hat will automatically process pre-processing check. This helps improve the pre-screening check accuracy as well as recording the check results digitally and systemically. If there is no hit, confirm for release will be automatically done with the notification sent to customers. If the check failed in Activity, or there is a hit in Red Hat, or after sending an e-notification for exceeding limit in IMEX, it will update into the exception management dashboard. Trade operation will then trigger sending an email in the dashboard in order to seek approval from RM. Comparing with the previous process, which have 16 manual processes, trade operations now transform the skills to support 4 manual touchpoints. The 4 manual touchpoints are manually scan for over-the-counter, OCR checker, signature verification and update result in Activity and exception management and email relationship manager for approval. Now, we will demonstrate how the loan issuance and disbursement process is automated. When customer submits documents over the counter, ops will scan these documents into the group functional mail. Faxes submitted by customer will be auto-received into group functional mail. Then, ops will move these unread emails with documents attached into the APFISS folder. It is in this folder that OCR will read the documents and process it. Each mail in OCR will be given a unique batch ID. First, OCR will classify the documents. If OCR is unable to identify documents to classify them, the transaction will flow into the Review tab. Here the users can classify the documents into the different document type. Once the classification is complete, either by system or user, the transaction will flow into Ready for Validation tab. In this tab, OCR will extract details from the document and fill in the respective fields. On the left, it will show the documents and the document type it was classified. Any document highlighted in red will require user repair. On the right, any fields highlighted in red will require user attention. In this tab, OCR will extract details from the document and fill in the respective fields. On the left, it will show the documents and the document type it was classified. OCR will state the rationale for the intervention and user can amend if required. Once completed, user can complete by clicking Validate or F8 to complete OCR review. In the next stage of IPA, the transaction will flow from OCR into Workflow Dashboard. The dashboard is a fully inbuilt system created in DBS. On the top left, users can filter the product and step type of the transaction from OCR. Dashboard will track processing status by different stages, including cut-off time check, signature verification, fax indemnity check, future data transaction, registration, callback, pre-processing check, escalation, final release and completed. Deals will be checked systematically from left to right, and if the transaction fails to check, it will fall into that K. For example, if a transaction comes in after the cut-off time, it will be in the first K. If it tests within cut-off time, it will auto-flow into the next check. At the bottom will show the transactions from OCR, showing the latest one first. All transactions go through pre-registration checks, which is the first 6 mentioned. On the right, we have a shortcut link to view the transactions pending for user's action. Upon clicking on the Workflow button, it will go into the details of the transaction and show each stage of processing with the status. For this particular transaction, it was within cut-off time and the user had approved the signature. Transaction has passed the fax indemnity check and the transaction is dated today. Having completed the pre-registration check, details of transaction will be sent to IMEX for registration. Dashboard will show the IMEX reference number and flow into pre-processing check K. Documents scanned previously in OCR are viewable in dashboard in PDF format at the bottom of page. In pre-processing queue, user can see all the pre-processing checks such as GTH and LLI. Example, in the GTH check, it will show all the rules for GTH with status OK or not OK. By clicking the Escalate button, the rules which fail and show not OK can be escalated to RM. If there is no exceptions, users can just click Proceed Next in Pre-Processing Check tab to skip Escalation Check and proceed to Final Release Check. This is an example of when an escalation is made in Dashboard. A pop-up will appear to send email. Users can enter the recipient email address. By default, the documents scanned are attached. Users can amend the documents and add additional files using the Upload feature if required. Under Escalation Description, it will show all the Not OK rules with a remarks column for user to enter, if any. Upon clicking Send Email, an exception approval email will be sent to the recipient with all entered details. This is the sample of the email. Once an email is sent to RM, transaction will be in escalation queue. User can click on the escalation bar to filter all transactions under the status. Upon click Workflow, user can view the details of the transaction. If there is no approval given and user clicks on Proceed Next button, a pop-up message will appear preventing the transaction from proceeding. In the next tab, users will be provided with options to edit, approve, reject, and escalate. For this transaction, the approval is received and user clicks Approve. After clicking the Approve button, user can now click on Proceed Next and move into Final Release queue. The screen shows the final release page where user can upload the RM email approval by clicking on Browse and Upload. Here the users are provided with 3 buttons such as Back, Release Deal and Reject Deal. Back to go back to GTH checks. Release Deal transaction proceeds to next check, which is completed queue with status completed. Reject deal transaction proceeds to next check, which is completed queue with status rejected. For the purpose of this example, user clicked on release button. Upon clicking on the completed bar, it will show all transactions which are in completed stage with latest transaction at top. User can click the workflow button to view the details of the transaction. This is the end of dashboard processing workflow. Users have the option to search for a specific transaction in dashboard using Transaction Search tab. User can search the deal by clicking Transaction Search and check all the workflow history and details. Authorizer logs into IMAX and will find the transaction in Signature Key waiting for his approval. He will see that all the details are mapped from OCR in their respective fields accordingly. Following that, the authorizer needs only to approve the transaction to release the deal.